What's happening, guys? Remember me? Wouldn't blame you if you didn't. Tom, Star Channel, and I wanted to give you guys a quick update on what's going on and why is there no new content on the channel, basically, outside of shorts that I upload every now and then, and some throwback videos back to before I had my channel that I formatted for Facebook at the time. So I really want to apologize for not being more active. I just couldn't manage to, and we'll get into the why here shortly. And more importantly, I want to thank all of you that decided to stick around despite me not being very active. I have hardly bled any followers over this summer, so big shout out to you guys for sticking it out with me. Let's just get right to why is there such little new content on the Star channel. Well, it's a threefold situation here. So the biggest thing by far is that my life kind of got turned upside down. Essentially, the place that I've been working for 18 years now has decided that they're gonna close the facility that I work in and move everything to Mexico, kind of dealio, business decision type dealio, so I'm losing my job, and I had to really think about what I want to do going forward, with my life and where I want to be. And I've traveled a ton. I've lived lots of different places, actually, and I just felt like I shouldn't see this as like a setback. This is an opportunity for change, an opportunity for another chapter in my adventure. So for those of you that don't know, I currently live in Michigan, and I do a lot of drifting in the Midwest. And despite there not being much evidence on the channel, I drove a ton this summer. But we've made the decision to move out of state and move to the other end of the spectrum as far as north-south goes, and move to Florida. At least try it out, see how we like it. So we've got essentially no plan, nothing lined up, no job, no house, no nothing. We literally just decided to wing it. We upgraded our camper to a bigger camper. We're just gonna go down there and see what happens. So those life changes meant that I had a lot of stuff to do, like fix up my house, declutter, get rid of stuff I don't need, figure out what to store, where to store it, what to take, camper upgrades. So much stuff, selling the house, obviously, so much that chewed a lot into my available time. And I had to decide, okay, do I, skip some events and drive less? Or do I just kind of park the channel progress for a while? So I erred on the side of seat time. So unfortunately that meant I wasn't very active on here. That was one reason. Second reason is technology related. So a lot of the edits that you're seeing on my channel, believe it or not, I actually edited those videos on a video game console, not on like a cool PC or anything. I did a lot of my editing, I kid you not, dead ass serious, on an Atari VCS. And that is suboptimal. Like, my process flow was just terrible. I was just not effective at editing videos because that console simply isn't meant to do this, right? So it was struggling, and it made everything a lot slower paced than it should be. So that's going to be a thing of the past. I'm going to actually invest in a proper setup. And it has to be something that's mobile because of those lifestyle changes that I mentioned. So I need a really, really powerful gaming laptop, and I think I got figured out what I want. And so going forward, this will be a lot easier to do proper edits and stuff. Not counting this phone thing I'm doing right now. And then the third reason of why there is so little content is something that's a little bit out of my control, but sometimes when I'm making a video, like a BTSD episode, where I want to show you guys how an event went, then I'm hoping to get more footage from other drivers, or maybe one of the drone guys has a clip of us driving together or something, Whatever the case may be, there is sometimes stuff where you're waiting on content from others before you can make progress on your own project. Now you combine that with the other two, being slow at what I do because of crappy hardware that I use, and not having a whole lot of time to begin with because my life's nuts. It just led to there being a huge pile of footage on my editing pile that I just haven't gotten around to. And so I have, at this point, September, driven 29, 27, something like that. Just shy of 30 days on track. So I did a lot of driving, lots of cool events, a whole season of Pro-Am, went to the 50K, we drove Vibes. I mean, there's so much good stuff that happened this up north season. And now, with what's coming next, there's going to be even more. So I just need to take a break and get through my pile of editing stuff, and there will be more content, so worry not. Okay, that was basically, first up, the apology of neglecting you fine people. Then secondly, I gave you a couple excuses as to why I did that. And now the more important part is like, okay, so does this channel have a future, and what is that future going to be like? So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we're literally going to just hobo it and take a couple race cars to Florida and just see what happens. So I'm really excited for that, and I want to document that journey a little bit, because this is going to be like a once-in-a-lifetime thing for me. You know, I'm married, I have kids, I used to always have like a steady, serious job, you know, so I never did a whole lot of what I would consider crazy things. I just drove a lot, I just drifted a lot, but I didn't do anything unconventional by my standards. And this is like a really big adventure for me, to like have no job lined up, no house lined up, no anything lined up outside of, I know where all the tracks are in Florida, so I know roughly where I want to be, you know, between the farm, Orlando Speed World, and clutch kickers at Freedom Factory. And then there's also gosh darn it, is it Sebring where they run the Pro-Am? Whatever, I've got it all lined up on Google Maps, so I know exactly where I need to be, basically to be in proximity to all those tracks. But I don't really know anything about Florida because I've never been there. And like I said, we're just going to wing it. And so I'm going to document that on this channel. It's going to be pretty crude. I'm not going to go ham on editing and it's more going to be like, you know, maybe some live feeds, you know, maybe just some updates and just showing you what's going on. Maybe I do some shorts. I actually like shorts. They're kind of fun to do. Whatever it's going to be, there's going to be more content in that regard. And I'm going to catch up. I have done a lot of the editing already to catch up for this summer. Just gonna put some finishing touches on it, and then I'll have what actually happened this season. I'm gonna have a detailed breakdown on how Pro-Am went, you know. I'm thinking about doing a video, because I get asked that stuff all the time, about like running Pro-Am and what the cost implications are. I was thinking about doing a video on that, just to break that down for you guys, so you can decide on whether that's something you want to do. And most interactions that I have, based on not my presence on Facebook, but my presence on YouTube, most of the interactions I get from that are people hitting me up for setup advice for drifting. So it's all, basically all the interactions I'm getting are related to the tech type videos that I'm doing. And I want to do more of those. It's just really freaking hard to find the time for it. And so I'm hoping, with a little bit of time off and just like enjoying life in the south and not shoveling snow and just chilling in an RV park somewhere, I'll just sit there hacking away at my laptop. And maybe I'll find time to do more of those too, because I've got so many ideas for cool content for you guys. I'm just lacking the time to get it done. So going forward, we're going to expand the Yeet Fleet south. It's going to be a Yeet Fleet north, a Yeet Fleet south. For those of you that didn't know that I'm moving and that wanted to drive with me or whatever, I'm not completely neglecting the northern hemisphere at all. So I've got a pretty solid plan for more cars, more builds, some of which are actually gonna stay up north, some in Michigan, some in Ohio, some actually might end up, or one I should say, might actually end up in Pennsylvania. Well, I don't know the details yet, because like I said, everything is just getting turned upside down at the moment. But I plan on still driving up north as well as down south, and I think I have a pretty good idea of how to make that happen, and I'll keep you guys posted. But yeah, I would really appreciate it if you stuck around, you know, and I hope to see a lot of you guys when I come back drifting up north next season. And I'm really looking forward to making a whole bunch of new drift friends down south, because I personally don't really know anyone right now that's drifting in Florida or in Alabama for that matter. And I feel like the scene down there looks pretty prime, you know. So hopefully in a couple of weeks here, I'll be sending it with you guys down there in the swamp state. Cheers!